Vanguard Power Dice, a Dangerously Incompetent does tabletop gaming video. Now recently I've taken up Kings of War Vanguard, which, if you don't know, is a miniatures skirmish game from Mantic Games. And it mostly uses 8-sided dice for resolving stuff like attacks and defense and morale and all that sort of stuff, but it also uses a custom set of power dice, which are custom 6-sided dice. I had a look at the Mantic's power dice and I didn't fancy them, so I decided to make my own. To start with, I went and bought a bunch of blank dice from eBay. They were described as white, but when I opened them up, turned out they were transparent, and they'd also come from China, which was an eye-opener, because they were the cheapest ones going, and they travelled all the way around the world to get to me, and they were still the cheapest, including postage. Oh well. Anyway, so I've got blank 6-sided dice, and then I took my engraver, which, if you don't know, it's got a little metal point on, you can see on the left hand side, and it bangs it backwards and forwards like a couple hundred times a second, and you just put it up gently against the side of something and it whacks the tip in, makes a divot, pulls it back again and does it again and again and again and again and again. So tiny divots it makes, like 0.2mm size sort of thing, and then you just drag it around to engrave what you want. So I did that. I engraved all the symbols I wanted, which was a bit awkward at times because the engraver isn't that accurate. There's a motor in there and it's pulling this point backwards and forwards really fast, so it tends to wander a bit. So getting nice and accurate was a bit difficult, but I managed it more or less in the end, and then put away the engraver and got out the paints and just slapped on the paint on the part of the dice that I'd engraved. So it's all divots, lots of tiny little divots, so it gives something for the paint to hang on to, because if I just painted it onto the flat sides, you start rolling the dice, the paint is going to get knocked off, isn't it? So here you have the final result, and all in all, I'm quite pleased with it. Okay, they're quite not as neat and tidy as they could have been engraved and then painted, but I'll do better with my next set. Vanguard power dice have the values none, 1, 2 and 3, and with this set of dice I went for 1 set of teeth, 2 set of teeth, and then Spaceman Spiff eyes and mouth for 3. I'm wondering what I should do for the next set, so if you've got any suggestions on the symbols I could use for my next set of power dice, then comment below. But bear in mind they've got to be relatively simple. Those are 16mm dice, and the engraver isn't that accurate, so it's got to be quite a simple design. Cheers!